So, obviously you guys know that I am a tech and gaming enthusiast, but something you may not know about me is that I'm also a movie enthusiast. Hey, what is up guys? How's it going? My name of course is Womp, and today I'm bringing you a video about my top 10 favorite movies of 2014. 2014 was definitely an amazing year for the film industry, which is why I wanted to make this video letting you know about which films I enjoyed the most. I know that this video is a little late, but if you are also a movie enthusiast, you will know that most of a year's best movies come out during the last couple months of that year. So the reason why this video is a month late is because I've spent the last month trying to catch up and watch all of the movies that I wanted to see before making this list. Remember that this list is completely based on my opinion, so your opinion may be a little different. So without further delay, let's get into this. At number 10, we have Edge of Tomorrow, or Live Die Repeat. Edge of Tomorrow is about a military officer played by Tom Cruise who is brought into a war against extraterrestrial enemies. When he arrives on the battlefield, he soon realizes that if he dies, he's sent back in time and repeats that day. He later teams up with a special forces soldier played by Emily Blunt, who is also able to repeat events, in an effort to end the war. I gotta say, a lot of movies on this list surprised me, but this one definitely surprised me the most. I saw the trailer and thought for sure this was just gonna be another one of those Tom Cruise action movies, which in a sense it was, but this one was actually really good. You'd think that watching a guy repeat the same day over and over again would get repetitive and boring, but trust me, this movie found a way to actually make it pretty interesting and intriguing. At number 9, we have Chef. Chef is about a chef who loses his restaurant job and decides to run a food truck. This food truck not only allows him to have creative freedom, but also helps him reestablish relationships with his family. This movie is a comedy, and although it does have a ton of hilarious moments, it also tells a really emotional and heartfelt story. This is the type of movie that you watch when you're in a really bad mood or something, because I'm pretty sure it is impossible to be upset when you watch this movie. I mean, seriously, they should just retitle this movie Good Times, because that's exactly what it is. Chef also touches on the topic of social media and portrays how much of an impact social media really has on our lives. At number 8, we have Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy is about a group of intergalactic criminals by the names of Peter Quill, played by Chris Pratt, Gamora, played by Zoe Saldana, Drax, played by Dave Bautista, Groot, played by Vin Diesel, and Rocket, played by Bradley Cooper. These criminals are forced to work together to stop a fanatical warrior named Ronin from taking over the universe. This was also a movie that I wasn't too sure if it was going to be good, but it turned out to be amazing. First of all, Chris Pratt kills it in this movie. I love Chris Pratt because he is such a hilarious actor, and in this movie he definitely continues that trend. Also, this movie has a great story and amazing visual effects. Guardians of the Galaxy has gone from being a Marvel comic book that most people haven't heard about to being a movie that's hard to forget. At number 7, we have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is a sequel to the movie Rise of the Planet of the Apes and takes place 10 years after a pandemic disease. During this time, the surviving apes and humans are working hard to continue to survive, but they run into some problems with each other which lead to a giant battle between the two. The movie truly has amazing visual effects. I mean, a lot of this movie is about these CGI apes, so great visual effects are a necessity. Besides having great visual effects, this movie has some great acting and tells a very intriguing and interesting story that keeps the viewer's eyes glued on the screen. At number 6, we have Boyhood. The plot of Boyhood is pretty simple. It follows the life of a young boy named Mason, played by Eller Coltrane, from age 5 to 18. What is unique about this movie is the fact that it was filmed over the course of 12 years. This movie was filmed a little bit every year and used the same actors throughout the whole movie. This means that although you're watching a fictional story of a boy growing up, you're also witnessing the actor who plays the boy grow up for himself, and you're witnessing the other actor's age. Boyhood really shows how even small moments have a great impact on a person's life and causes watchers to look back and reflect on their life, making this a very emotional movie. The idea of this movie is truly incredible, and in the end, Boyhood was a spectacular movie. At number 5, we have Gone Girl. Gone Girl is about a man named Nick, played by Ben Affleck, whose wife Amy, played by Rosamund Pike, disappeared. The man becomes bombarded by the media, and his actions and emotions cause others to believe that he may be the reason why his wife is missing. This movie kept me focused on the screen and on the edge of my seat, mainly because watchers only know as much about the situation as characters do. When you watch the movie, you feel like you are a part of the investigation and you try to put the puzzle together for yourself. Halfway through the movie, there is a scene that makes you think that the movie is over, but in reality, it has only just begun. At number 4, we have Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler is about a man named Lou Bloom, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, who is desperate for work. He begins showing an interest in LA crime journalism and sets out to film the best footage of crime scenes in LA. He soon begins to blur the lines between being an observer and a participant in these crimes. First, let me just say, Jake Gyllenhaal is absolutely amazing in this movie. I really have no idea why he didn't get an Oscar nomination for Best Actor. I really feel like he fits this role perfectly. He was just so creepy in this movie. I don't think he should have won Best Actor, but he definitely should have gotten a nomination. Also, this movie has some great writing. Like, the idea of this movie is just such an amazing and original idea. This is definitely the type of movie that I enjoy watching, and I'm really happy that this movie exceeded my expectations. At number 3, we have Lego Movie. Now, I know you're wondering why a kids movie is in this list, but just bear with me for a minute. The Lego Movie is about an ordinary Lego construction worker named Emmett, played by Chris Pratt, who realizes that he isn't that special until he is recruited to join a quest to stop an evil tyrant from gluing the Lego universe together. So my friends were over and we were trying to find a movie to watch when we jokingly decided to watch the Lego Movie, and we were suddenly blown away by the fact that this movie is hilarious and overall a great movie. The Lego Movie has a ton of well-known characters such as Batman, the Green Lantern, Han Solo, and so on, along with a ton of great actors like Chris Pratt, Will Arnett, Jonah Hill, Morgan Freeman, and Will Ferrell. This is one of those kids movies that adults could enjoy because it appeals to a wide variety of audiences. I will be honest, there were some parts during this movie where I was laughing so hard that I couldn't breathe. Don't even get me started about how pissed I am that this movie didn't get an Oscar nomination for Best Animated Picture. At number 2, we have Birdman, or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance. Birdman is about an aging actor named Regan, played by Michael Keaton, who once played an iconic superhero named Birdman. He decides to write and perform in a play as he battles his ego and attempts to recover his family, his career, and himself. I gotta say, both Michael Keaton and Edward Norton both killed it in this movie. Also, Zach Galifianakis shows us that he can actually act and not just play a funny guy in movies like The Hangover. This movie is a comedy, so it has a good amount of laughs. Like, I definitely remember laughing out loud a lot during this movie, but also, it is a really emotional and heartfelt story. One of my favorite things about this movie is definitely the cinematography. If you don't know, this movie is filmed to look like it is one continuous shot, and I was absolutely blown away when I saw what an amazing job they did with this. This movie better win the Oscar for Best Cinematography because I definitely think they did an outstanding job with it. Before I let you know my favorite movie of the year, let me just state some honorable mentions. These are movies that I enjoyed a ton, but for whatever reason, they didn't make this list. So, my honorable mentions are 22 Jump Street, Unbroken, Top 5, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, The Grand Budapest Hotel, American Sniper, Foxcatcher, The Drop, and Wild. But moving on, my pick for the number 1 movie of the year is Whiplash. Whiplash is about a promising young drummer named Andrew, played by Miles Teller, who enrolls in an intense jazz band where his dreams of greatness are mentored by an instructor named Fletcher, played by J.K. Simmons, who will stop at nothing, and I mean nothing, to help his students reach their full potential. This movie was just incredible. J.K. Simmons was outstanding in this movie. I mean, he played this actually crazy music instructor who would insult and throw chairs at his students, and he absolutely killed it. I would be insanely surprised if he didn't win the Oscar for Best Actor in a Supporting Role for his work in this movie. Also, everyone is focusing on J.K. Simmons and looking over Miles Teller, but Miles Teller was also fantastic in this movie. He shows us how talented he is and that he can do more than just play a party animal role in movies like Project X and 21 and Over. This movie definitely had the most emotional story of all the films I've seen this year. Also, the twist at the end was great and I never saw it coming. I'm pretty sure I actually said, "Whoa," out loud when I witnessed the twist at the end of this movie. I had absolutely no trouble picking this movie as my favorite one of the year. Well, those are my top 10 favorite movies of the year, guys. Note that I didn't get a chance to see every single movie that came out in 2014, so there may be some movies that you wanted to see on this list, but they're not on this list simply because I didn't get a chance to see them yet. Just to give you some examples, I wanted to see Interstellar, Mockingjay, Imitation Game, John Wick, Selma, Locke, and The Babadook, but I just didn't get a chance to see them yet. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope it was what you're looking for. If it was either of these things, please give this video a like. If you want to see more, please subscribe. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, suggestions, anything like that, please leave it in the comments section below. Also, let me know your top 10 favorite movies of 2014. Again, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.
We dropping bass like a motherfucking atom bomb.